Brian, you talk about the healthy relationship between the state and feds for good fiscal management of programs. That doesn't exist anymore. In fact, it's worse than we thought with respect to Medicaid. And states bilking money in cahoots with providers and other groups, locally, insurance companies. Talk about that and how out of control it's gotten and why it's so important that the Senate goes even further to lock out these schemes that are hurting the vulnerable people's safety net into the future and also wasting tax dollars.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that question, Mr. Chairman. Underpinning Medicaid has been a shared responsibility between the federal government and states, where states historically paid about 40% of the cost, which meant they had skin in the game. They had agency to care about the value of the spending. There's been two real problems that have distorted that relationship. The first is the economics of Obamacare. States are getting $9 in federal funding for every dollar that they spend on the expansion population, which is on average 7 times more in federal funds that they get for $1 of spending on traditional enrollees. And the second is the growth of this very abusive money laundering system. The way it works is that the hospital, I'm going to use hospitals as the example, but hospitals will lobby to be taxed. So you know it's not an actual tax. And so the hospitals will send, say, $1 million to the state. The state sends that $1 million right back to the hospital. That's an accounting gimmick, but the state then invoices the federal government. And the federal government on average is spending, 70% reimbursement. So they're able to get $700,000 of federal funds for what is an accounting gimmick. Under the Biden administration, that accounting gimmick exploded, and the payoff to these very powerful hospital systems are rates that are magnitudes above Medicare. So we have a huge amount of corporate welfare interjected in this program because that's what the federal government has incentivized states to do.
Thank you. And Biden and Obama called it a scam. They were right, and we ought to address it.